After his first indictment in March, many speculated that Donald Trump would pay a political price. He did not. But this federal indictment presents some challenges to Trump that his previous indictment did not. First, it arises from an investigation by a special counsel appointed by the Justice Department, not from a partisan elected prosecutor in New York. And while Trump and his allies will attempt to tie this indictment to the Biden administration and allege that it is political prosecution of a presidential opponent, it will be harder to make a direct case of partisanship than it has been in the New York City case. Trump's court appearance is his second in less than 3 months, and he was arraigned in April in New York, as we covered, on charges that he falsified business records for a 2016 hush money payment to a porn star. But that is a state-level case and much less serious than the one he is now facing. Florida officials are bracing for protests from supporters and opponents, even though experts highlight that Trump is unlikely to be jailed this time around. So what happens next? Well, Jack Smith, a special counsel appointed by the Justice Department in the US in November to investigate the case, said that he intended to pursue a speedy trial. But as with the case against him in New York, the Florida court case could extend well into the 2024 campaign season or even beyond the election for Trump. If convicted, Trump could face prison time. Each count related to the Espionage Act violations alone could carry a maximum sentence of up to 10 years. For the conspiracy and false statement charges, it's 5 years per offense. For the obstruction charges, it's 20. But if his Manhattan court appearance is anything to go by, today could be a critical moment in garnering campaign funds for Trump. He is scheduled to hold a fundraiser at his golf club after his court date that is reportedly expected to bring in about $2 million. Now, that is a hefty sum, but not an unreasonable target, given that Trump also saw a surge in campaign donations following his first indictment. 90% of tonight's proceeds are expected to go to Trump's re-election effort, with the remainder taken to sort of help with his growing legal fees. But he is also expected to make public remarks at his golf club after his court date in Miami. Now this, as a vast majority of Republicans believe, federal criminal charges against Trump are politically motivated. This as per the latest Reuters Ipsos poll that also showed him far ahead of Ron DeSantis, his nearest rival in the race for the Republican presidential nomination. This latest poll, which began just a day after Trump was indicted, found that 81% of self-identified Republicans say politics is driving this case. Last week was a bad one for Donald Trump. The former US president was indicted on 37 felony counts over his handling of classified documents and what federal prosecutors say was a scheme to obstruct justice to keep those documents. But Trump did receive one bit of happy news. The case which the US Department of Justice will prosecute in Florida is scheduled to be overseen by Judge Aileen Cannon, who was appointed by Trump himself back in 2020. Now, Trump seems to have won the judicial lottery when this 37-count indictment for hoarding classified documents landed before U.S. District Court Judge Aileen Cannon. Cannon, a Trump appointee, confirmed to the federal bench just days after Trump lost his re-election bid, ruled differentially for Trump last summer when he contested the FBI seizure of some of these very documents, by the way. And legal experts described Cannon's pro-Trump rulings at the time as audacious and even lawless. And now Cannon will be in an even more powerful position to steer Trump's legal fortunes.